Turn back, Spirit Guide.
Hi, my name is Alex and I welcome you to today's video. With Kena, Bridge of Spirits, developer Ember Lab made quite a splash a few years ago, seemingly out of nowhere. A studio previously known primarily for animation suddenly delivered an action-adventure that, at first glance, looks like a playable Pixar movie. Now the game has made its way onto the Nintendo Switch too, and in this review we'll take a look at how well the adventure holds up on Nintendo's console. The game puts you in the role of Kena, a young spirit guide whose journey leads her to an abandoned village plagued by a mysterious corruption. The villagers are long gone, but their restless spirits linger, trapped in memories they can't let go of. Kena's task is to help these spirits reconnect with their past so they can finally find peace and move on. What initially appears to be a colorful fairy tale quickly reveals itself to be a story dealing with heavier themes. Death and loss run like a common thread throughout the entire experience. This story unfolds in 3 largely self-contained character arcs, each centered around a different spirit and their personal tragedy. Rather than forming one continuous narrative, these feel more like emotional short stories, and it works surprisingly well. Each tale is carefully staged and brought to life through beautifully animated, film-quality cutscenes with full English voice acting. It's here that Ember Lab's roots in animation really shine. The quality of these sequences is impressive and delivers plenty of emotional moments. Kena herself is, however, a somewhat less compelling protagonist. She's kind-hearted and likable, no doubt, but she undergoes very little development over the course of the game. Her own past is hinted at briefly, but never fully explored, making it difficult to form a deeper connection with her. Thankfully, the charming Rod helped make up for this shortcoming. These small fluffy companions follow Kena everywhere, adding a heartwarming sense of lightness to the story and ensuring that, despite its serious themes, the journey never feels too heavy.
Hi there.
Kena, Bridge of Spirits blends classic action-adventure elements into a cohesive overall package. At its core, the game revolves around 3 pillars: exploration, combat and puzzle solving. The world encourages curiosity. Whether you're climbing along cliffs or investigating suspicious-looking spots, there's always something to discover. Meditation spots, flower shrines and of course the ever-present Rod, complete with their adorable heads, are scattered throughout. Collecting them isn't just for completionists either. Gathering spirit mail, for example, gradually restores the village, giving you a real sense of impact on the world. At the heart of the gameplay is the Rod system, which feels somewhat reminiscent of Pikmin. These companions are far more than just cute decorations. Collecting more Rod increases their level, which in turn unlocks new ability for Kena. She can, for instance, learn a powerful leap attack or briefly slow down time while aiming her bow. The Rod themselves also gain new abilities and can be actively used in combat to unleash powerful attacks, heal Kena or distract enemies. However, they are not always immediately available. Instead, they build up courage on the sidelines, which Kena generates through successful attacks and dealing damage. Once enough courage is built, Rod actions become available, adding a light tactical layer to combat. Combat itself offers a solid variety of options. Melee attacks, a bow and later bombs are complemented by a dodge roll and an energy shield. The latter can be used for perfectly timed parries, allowing for counterattacks. Not every enemy can be taken down by brute force. Some require a heavy strike to break their wooden shields, while others have unique weaknesses you'll need to figure out. Boss fights take this idea further, demanding real engagement with their mechanics. Take the Stone Guardian, for example. You need to patiently wait for specific attacks to expose a weak point before sending in the Rod and dealing meaningful damage. Multiple difficulty settings ensure that both newcomers and experienced players will find a suitable challenge, not just through enemy behavior but also through adjustments to the Rod system itself. What makes the gameplay so enjoyable is how well these elements come together. The world visibly changes as you progress, and exploration remains consistently rewarding thanks to the wealth of secrets and collectibles. However, players hoping for fresh, innovative mechanics may come away disappointed. Kena openly draws inspiration from established genre heavyweights like The Legend of Zelda and the Uncharted series, without reinventing the wheel. The puzzles also tend to stay on the simpler side and rarely pose a real challenge. Originally a PlayStation 5 exclusive, the game's visual splendor still shines on Nintendo Switch too. The interplay of light and shadow creates a rich atmosphere, especially in dense forest areas, and the game simply looks gorgeous. Combined with the many particle effects powered by Unreal Engine 4, this is easily one of the most visually impressive titles on Nintendo's hybrid console. The Pixar-like cutscenes push this even further. I rarely see this level of detail in video games. The only minor drawback is the occasional texture pop-in, which slightly detracts from the overall presentation. There are also small compromises when it comes to performance. The game runs at a steady 30 frames per second, but there's no option to switch to 60 FPS. That said, the frame rate never felt particularly distracting during gameplay. Kena: Bridge of Spirits ultimately thrives on its presentation and atmosphere. The world is stunning and the cutscenes rank among the best currently available in this style. From a gameplay perspective, it does a lot right without ever truly surprising. The combat feels polished, the rod system adds a nice tactical twist, and exploration is consistently rewarding. At the same time, it's clear that the game leans heavily on familiar ideas and rarely carves out its own identity. The puzzles remain fairly simple, and Kena herself feels somewhat underdeveloped as a character. The Switch 2 version impresses primarily on a visual level, showcasing the game's strengths well, even if a 60 FPS option would have been welcome. In the end, Kena: Bridge of Spirits is a well-rounded atmospheric adventure that stands out mainly for its presentation and emotional storytelling. If you're looking for an accessible action adventure with heart, you'll definitely find it here, even if it doesn't quite reach the heights of the genre's very best. For these reasons, I rate Kena: Bridge of Spirits for the Nintendo Switch 2 an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. If you liked it, we would be very happy about a like and a subscription. Or if you're interested in getting early access to our future reviews, feel free to visit our Patreon page.
Doors, I'm a fool for your love.